101 years ago, Richard A. Symms left Kansas for Oregon to pursue his dream of growing fruit. Instead of the Willamette Valley, he ended up in the unique microclimate of Sunny Slope along the Snake River. In 1914, Symms planted the first 8 acres of fruit trees on his 80-acre farm.
He was a dairy farmer in Kansas. He read a lot about fruit. He left Kansas and came here in 1913 to see what was here, and he got hold of this place in 1914, but he was 44 years old. And so when he came here with 3 children, oldest being my father, who was 14 at that time, it takes a lot of courage.
In 2014, the ranch encompasses 5,000 acres with 3,500 and various types of fruit trees. Thousands of boxes of fruit leave here each year, headed to markets across the world.
Cherries we pack, depending on the year, anywhere from 100 to 200,000 boxes, and this year we'll be kind of in the middle of that. Peaches we're packing, as many as 5 to 700,000 boxes of peaches. Maybe 5 to 700,000 boxes of apples, and then plums we're at 60,000 pears. We're doing probably 40,000 pears.
At 100 years of age, the ranch is still owned and managed by the Symms family.
I guess I'm the patriarch, and frankly, I don't do much. My cousin's husband, Jim Mertz, is another one of us older guys that have kind of turned it over to the younger generation. And the younger generation is my nephew is the oldest, that's Danny. My son is the next oldest, that's Dar. Jamie Mertz is Jim's and Kathy's son. Those 3 boys, I call them boys, they're about 50 now, actually take care of operating this company.
Living by the Symms principles and having a sense of humor has played a big part in the 100-year success of Symms Fruit Ranch.
Well, we've kind of had these principles, we try and live with. And there's one of them, you need to have integrity, and you need courage, as we've tried to have, and you need to have persistence. Now, this is the thing that keeps you going. Why do you keep at it? Well, it takes persistence. You have to put things in the proper priority. And so when you do that, and then at the end of the day, you have to have a sense of humor, because we have disasters happen to us. Hailstorms, big frosts, freezes, short of water, all of these things with the nature and the natural things, we have to deal with them.
The biggest change in the orchards since 1914.
When my grandfather was planting trees here, there were more like 50 trees per acre, and now we're planting 900 trees per acre. So that's a big change, and you have to have a lot of trees per acre to get the early production, and early production is what everybody wants.
And the growth has not come without heartache and setbacks.
Kind of the Waterloo of all years is 1992. And that's when we'd had a winter freeze that killed our cherry trees and peach trees, a lot of them. And we'd had a spring frost, which killed a lot of the buds we had left. We'd had a water problem. We didn't get any water that year. We had the Immigration Service after us because of some of the forms that were signed in the Republican administration, of which my brother was part of. And anyway, we had some trouble then. We had some trouble with the BATF, which is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, through the winery, because our winemaker mislabeled some wine. And all these things culminated in 1992.
But you made it through.
We made it through.
And in 2014, Dick Symms says the path to success continues to get tougher.
There's so many regulations now on the purity of our food. That if they find something somewhere, in some store or somewhere, you have to recall it. That can be very, very expensive. And because of that, we have to track everything that leaves here. And we're able to do that now, partially because of the computers that are available. But that's what we have to do, is track it. Yes, food safety is a big item. And then the regulations that are required to follow, not only with just food safety, but with water safety. And water running onto the property is supposed to leave just as clean as when it goes off, or when it leaves the property, coming on and going off.
Yeah, that's
going to be a difficult thing for farmers to do.
The Symms family were also pioneers in the Idaho wine industry. San Chapelle Winery was the first in Sunny Slope, and today is Idaho's largest winery.
We decided what we needed to do is to grow something that did not require so much hand labor. And as you know, wine grapes are picked with a machine, and so we planted some wine grapes. Pretty soon we are into St. Chapelle, and it grew beyond our wildest expectations.
The family sold the winery years ago, but still own the land it sits on and grow the grapes used in the winemaking. And family patriarch Dick Symms says the secret to success is knowing when to change.
The secret in having a company that can last, family company that can last 100 years, you gotta have the old guys get out of the way. So hopefully I'm far enough out of the way that I won't be a hindrance to the success. So I need to quit talking now and let the younger generation take over.
Really, in fruit, you're farming all year round, doing something. And so right now we're just at the end of our cherry season. We've been harvesting cherries and packing cherries. We're on about 16 days in a row right now. And so when we finish those, we'll have a short break, and then we'll start peaches here in about 2 weeks. And then when we start peach season, that'll go through end of September. We'll have plums and pears and apples all at the same time. We'll finish apples about the end of October. And then we'll be packing all during that time.
Dar Symms, along with cousins Danny and Jamie, now oversee day-to-day operations. The ranch has always been a big employer across the valley and also a big spender.
Well, we employ a lot of people, and a lot of people make their living here, sole living here. We also buy a lot of product here in the community. We buy a lot of boxes that are local and a lot of other supplies. So we do spend a lot of money here. Most of the money we bring in from out of state and a lot of out of the country. So we're bringing money to this community and spending it here. It's ever changing, and it takes an awful lot of hand labor. And of course, it's difficult to find labor now, and a lot of our competitors in the world don't have that problem.
And looking to the next 100 years?
Between Jamie and I, we still have 6 kids in high school or lower. And so we'll see what happens with those kids if any of them want to come back here. But there's probably a good chance that someone will want to come back and work here. So.
Symms Fruit Ranch. In 2014, 100 years old, and Canyon County Farm Family of the Year.